Hi, hello everyone. Welcome back to Pushpalata Learner Live Channel Expert Talks. This is Sriram from Pushpalata Vidya Mandir. In this tough time, I hope you all are staying indoors. The only way we can beat this is by staying positive and having healthy food. So, with this, let me hand over the session to Nahendra Sachin of class 11 from Pushpalata Vidya Mandir to give a short intro about our guest speaker.
A pleasant evening to everyone. The United Nations World Environment Day is observed on 5th June every year. As we are the future generation, we have to understand the significance of this day. Nature has offered everything that every life form needs to live. We humans went on to explore and extract what we needed in excess, and that has resulted in drastic changes and crises. It is our sole responsibility to restore our environment. If we develop a sustainable lifestyle without exploiting the natural resources, we can restore our planet to its former glory. Being an esteemed institution in our country, our school is celebrating Environment Day Talent Fest with the notion of creating awareness on the do's and don'ts to make our planet Earth a better place to live. A rational step today can bring a radical change tomorrow. Dear friends, I invite you all to participate in the fest and let us be the change. Let us be the generation for restoration and preserve the natural environment. To make this fest an eventful one, we have an inspiring personality with us. It's my great honor and privilege to introduce Mr. Prasad Natarajan, a Bangalore-based self-taught wildlife artist. He's an acclaimed wildlife artist working on wildlife art since 2005. His style of work is realism. His associations with wildlife and art inspired him to form Artists for Wildlife and Nature. He believes that art is an important tool and a powerful medium to reach people. Mr. Prasad recalls his childhood memories of drawing and the time he spent at an uncle's farm in Tumkur, where he began to admire nature by visiting a forest nearby. Eventually, he started drawing wildlife portraits. He was impressed by Pip McGarry, a leading wildlife artist from the UK, and followed his blogs. Mr. Prasad has attended an online course conducted by US-based artists Jan Martin McGuire and Karel Pieter Brest van Kempen in 2017, and that inspired him to experiment with acrylic colors. Till then, he was working with pencil, watercolor, and pen and ink. Having upgraded himself, he is here with us to inspire and guide us. We're truly honored to have you here with us, sir. I request our chief guest to take over the session.
Thank you, Sachin. Hello. Yeah, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Sachin, for that introduction. So, I thought I would share a small presentation with you. I'm just going to share my screen now. So, hope you can see my screen. I'm sharing my screen here. Hello. Yeah. So I thought I would share. Sachin, he introduced about my journey. I thought I would share a few visuals from that journey, my art journey. So So it all started in my third grade. So here's a pen sketch I did in my third grade in 1990. So again, it was a pen work. I used to work from magazines that time. So here's a tiger cub work. So later, again in my fifth grade, I started experimenting with pencil and pen and various other mediums. So here, if you see, I've done this artwork of my father, when we visited a local market. So after we came back home, I tried to capture that scene from my whatever I saw in the market. And the second work is from a magazine, and the third work is from my imagination. So slowly I started working from visuals, then images, and from imagination as well. So later, like in those days, in my sixth grade, I got a gift from my uncle. It was a calendar which had beautiful oil paintings from artists from outside India. So I tried to replicate, or I tried to copy that art using ball pen. So this is one of my effort in my sixth grade. So later, again in sixth grade, I tried poster colors. So this is from a local library. So I got access to National Geography magazine. So this is from one of the images from that National Geography magazine. I tried to move to colors and experiment with colors. So later, after a long break, though I made art in different journals, but I didn't think of wildlife art in particular, as there was no exposure. But I attended few art exhibitions in Chitakala Parishad, which were of wildlife based themes. So then I used to follow a lot of blogs. Those days we had blogs. So I used to follow a lot of blogs, and then I wrote to many artists inside India and outside India, seeking advice as to how I can practice this, or how I can become a wildlife practicing artist. So then one of the artists from UK, Mr. Pick McGarry, he replied back to me. So he was one of the first artists who wrote back to me. So these are the three tips he shared with me. I have this printed out and put on my desk. I follow this every day. Like, field work is vital in animal art. So this is what he told me. Like, I need to go on the field, observe the animals or birds or nature or trees, plants, insects, or anything in nature. You need to go on the field and observe them. And then that I always do. I click my own reference images also. And then he told me there are no shortcuts. So you need to practice daily.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Sir, the slides are not changed. I think it's.
Shall I share it again?
Yes, sir. So after sharing, you can change your slides, sir.
1 second. Sorry about that. Let me see that. So can you see the slide now?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
here it is.
Yeah. Can you see the second slide?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay.
So
Fine.
now you can share.
I'll not do the slideshow. I'll move it from slide to slide.
Okay, sir. Okay, it's
So
fine.
you can see the third grade, the fountain pen work I have done, then the
Yes, sir.
fifth grade work and the ball pen work, and the
Yes, sir.
poster color work.
Now we can
And
see the slide, sir. Yes.
yeah, I'm moving from slide to slide. I'm not playing the slide show. So I hope this
Okay.
one solves the problem. So here he mentioned these three tips. So I was here only. Let's start from there. There are no shortcuts, so you need to practice daily. Like, that's the second tip. So I do this every day. Like, I draw every day. Now it's my profession also. So I draw every day for 10 hours. So then make more art that is in trend. So this is a very important tip he gave. Like, in case you need to survive as a professional artist, you need to follow what is in trend. Like, that's how you can survive. So these are the three tips. I feel like any young artist who wants to make art as their profession, if they follow these three tips, I think it will be very useful for them as well. So later I started visiting zoos, local zoos, and different places. Like I visited Mysore zoos and clicked reference images from point and shoot. Because nowadays, like everybody have DSLR. Like those days, even for a point and shoot, it was very difficult. So I started making images, reference images from local zoos, and then I started drawing using pencil. Like so, this is how I started. So 2005 to 2009, I continued making artworks using only pencil. So later, I moved to watercolor and pen. So 2010 to 2015. So I started working using watercolor, pen, and only so these 5 years again I experimented only with watercolor. So again I moved back to pen. Like if you see, like during my sixth grade, I used to work a lot using ball pen and fountain pen. So again I moved back to like pen. Like I feel very comfortable working with pen, but then again I wanted to experiment again. Like so, as Sachin had mentioned earlier, so I seek their guidance. Like so, from Dan Martin McGuire and Cal Westvenkamp. So I seek both these senior artists, wildlife artists who are from US. I seek their advice, guidance. So I joined their online courses also, and under their guidance, I started learning acrylics. So if you see the next work, you can see the artwork. Like I started making acrylic works under their guidance. So my work transformed. So you can see like these artworks under. So guidance from senior artist or someone who you look up to is very very important in any field. So then in 2001 to 2021, like even now, I'm experimenting with this medium, which is brush pen. So it works like it looks like a pen, but it works like a brush. So I'm experimenting with that. So here field work, few images from a field work. Like I'm just sharing those images, how we go on the field, draw live, like take reference, take images, and then 10 years of my field work. Like so, it got published in a web page, like in a website called JLR Explore. So it's one of Karnataka's leading nature websites. Like so, 10 years of my work got published there. So I didn't stop only there. 2017, I started a NGO. Like I started an NGO called AWN. So this promotes nature artists in India. We recognize their work. We give awards. We do a lot of shows. We do a lot of workshops and all that. So most of my work I do is through AWN. So what are the activities? So we go outdoors, we sketch, we do workshops. Like I said, like we do demos in school and many wildlife reserves. Then we also conducted a nature camp also in 2019 in Kumli, like a few images from there. Then 3-day workshop we did in a wilderness festival, like in Nandi Hills, again in 2020. So this was in 2020. A lot of students, adults participated in that workshop, and few of the recognitions. Like so BNHS, they published a book featuring 20 top wildlife artists. So one among the 20, even my work got published in BNHS. So not only that, I got an award for conservation. Like this image won the WCS conservation photography award as well. And All India Radio Bangalore, like though it was found really long back, like Bangalore All India Radio, like till date they had never interviewed a wildlife artist. Like so in 2020, so I was the first wildlife artist to be interviewed in Bangalore All India Radio. So few of the news articles that appeared, just scroll through this. And also, I was one of the speakers in the Wilderness Festival. I conducted the wildlife art workshop, so I was also one of the speakers. I presented my work and in that wilderness festival. So not only that, I also published 40 nature poems, and which has 7 illustrations in 2019. It's a self-published poetry book. And Karnataka Biodiversity Board, on the occasion of completing 15 years, they published a book on Karnataka biodiversity. So 3 of my sketches also got published in that historic publication. This is the BNHS first wildlife calendar in 2020. So they published a wildlife calendar. This work got published there. And Indian Birds magazine published my watercolor work in their front magazine cover, and this work got published in the next month on their back magazine cover. So these are few images I'm going to share from my field work. You can see a few of my images, photographs. Golden jackal recorded last year, and one of my image that got published in UK Mail. So I also like to make artistic images. Also, few monochromes I want to share. So art, not it's not only about making artworks. You can use various mediums to express. Like that's the reason I'm just sharing all these various mediums where you can actually express your creativity. So just sharing my contact details. You can stay in touch, and you can connect with me on the social media platform. So I conclude my presentation. Thank you. So I will hand over the conference to Sriram. He will take it over from here. He will play a small video for you. So based on this video only, we'll be working on the session today. So over to you, Sriram.
Let me share about contour drawings today. Contour drawing or continuous drawing is a brilliant exercise to develop your hand-eye coordination. I have been making these drawings since my childhood days. Practicing this daily will not only improve your drawing skills, it can be a creative and productive way to spend your time. You can start with simple shapes to begin with and slowly progress to more and more complex drawings.
Here I'm going to use the reference image of a simple flower, the Tunbapu or the Lycus aspera, for this demo.
Here I am using 110 GSM cartridge sheet, Pentel brush pen, Scheffler black ink, Staedtler .3 mechanical pencil. Here are few instructions and tips for making this contour drawing exercise. Plan how you are going to start and end your artwork. As the name suggests, once you begin, you will need to draw continuously. You cannot go over a line, no repeated lines, no stopping. If you stop, leave the artwork where you stopped. Use a pencil to make the initial drawing till you feel confident to draw with the pen directly. Avoid using erasers. This is a freehand drawing exercise, meaning apart from your pen or pencil and hands, don't use any other tools while drawing. Without any further delay, let's start with the Tunbapu Lycus aspera contour drawing. I have already sketched out the Lycus aspera using mechanical pencil. Now using the Pentel brush pen, I start the contour drawing. I start the drawing from the left hand corner, starting with the leftmost leaf of the plant, slowly making my way downwards. So I go besides the line rather than repeating the line. I go beside the line that I have already drawn. If you observe carefully, like I use the curves, I use the smaller lines to make the drawing. Now let us speed up the process. Following the instructions, I was able to make this simple flower drawing. You may try this contour drawing exercise and share your drawing with me on social media. Use the hashtag flower contour drawing while posting your drawings. I will look forward to seeing your artwork. See you soon in another video. Have a healthy and creative year ahead. Keep creating.
So I hope you enjoyed the video that we shared. So based on the video, we are going to do another live session, like live drawing session. So follow the instructions carefully. So after my live demo, we'll share the reference images with you, where you can also try making the drawing. I'm going to share my screen as well. So hope you can see the reference image. Can you see the reference image? So I'm going to, this is the reference image I'm going to use to make the contour drawing. So let's begin. This is a mug bean moth. You usually find this in and around Bangalore. So I hope you watch the video carefully. So if you watch the video carefully, this is a contour drawing exercise, meaning we need to, once we start, we should not stop. We cannot go over the line and no repeating of the line. So if we stop somewhere, we need to stop the artwork. Like that is the instruction. So once I complete the demo, you will also get a chance where we'll show these reference images, where you will be given a specific timeline and you can try these artworks. Now just observe how I'm going to draw this artwork following the instruction. So let's begin. So once I start, I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to take my hand out of the paper. So that's how we work on the contour drawing. So what are the uses? Why we work on this particular kind of drawing method? What are its uses? Why we work? So this helps us to concentrate, pay attention, plan well. So this kind of artwork requires certain amount of planning, because it also has certain instructions. So I'm not using any pencil. I'm not using any other medium. Like I'm directly going with the pen, using the reference image. I'm going to continuously draw and make this moth. So it might look very simple when you see the artwork, like it might sound look very kiddish also, but let me tell you, when you try it out, it's not that easy. So working continuously on an artwork without lifting your hand requires a lot of concentration. It requires good planning also. So I will show you the artworks later. Like I will show you the number of times I practiced and all to get here and to get to this level. So I will show you that also later if time permits. I will show you that as well. And here I'm giving myself just 5 minutes time to sketch this reference image, not more than 5 minutes. Like that's the time limit I'm going to give to myself. So I'm not repeating the line, I'm going around the line. I'm not repeating any line, I'm just going around it. I'm going very close to the line, but there is no repetition of line here. So observe carefully. So when you get a chance to work on the artwork, when we play the reference image again, you get 10 minutes each to work on the artwork. Like you can also try the same kind of drawing. So like I mentioned in the video, like this is a excellent fun activity. Like during the lockdown, now most of us are spending most of our time indoors. We are thinking like what to do. Like we keep you know, we keep watching a lot of TV. So I'm not saying watching TV is not good, but we can use that time to be more creative. We can create artworks. We can have fun as well. So most of the artists I speak to, they say artwork is very stressful. Like mostly the professional artists, they say it is very stressful because we work for 10 hours continuously or we work 5 to 6 hours a day. But these kind of artwork are fun to work with. So you can try these kind of artworks. You can plan well. Like if you stop in between, like I've not taken my hand off the paper yet. If I take it off, then I need to stop there. That is the instructions we have. And I cannot repeat on the line also. I need to go around close to it, but I cannot repeat the line. So see how I'm going around each line. I'm following all the rules. I'm not repeating any lines. So how I'm working following the rules to make this fun sketch. So I'm using a brush pen. If you are wondering what pen, this is the brush pen. I had presented the works I have done using this pen. This is the same pen. And the sheet I'm using is a normal cartridge sheet I'm using. It's not very expensive. You get cartridge sheet everywhere. Like some of us also call it KG cardboard, like KG sheet. So this is the same sheet I'm using. So most of the materials I use are not very expensive. I use easily available materials and try to make artwork. I think we are close to 3 minutes. So another 2 minutes to complete this artwork. I have not drawn any lines or any markings or any reference drawings, initial drawings using a pencil. I'm directly drawing using a pen here. So either you can use a pencil, you can use any pen, not required to use only a brush pen to make this artwork. So either way, you can use a fountain pen also. In the demo video that you saw, like I used a fountain pen to make all those artworks. I have a sketchbook full of contour drawings. So all the artworks there I made using normal fountain pen. So that ends the artwork. So then don't forget to sign your artwork always. Even if it's a study work or you're doing it for fun also, always sign it. So also something I do always is mention the species name also. So this is a mug bean moth. So I hope you enjoyed this. I completed this in 4 minutes. So this is a A3 size sheet. It's a bigger sheet. Completed this in 4 minutes. So it's a very fun way to spend your time. There are certain rules that you need to follow and you need to work. So let's keep this aside. Let's go to the next image. So I change the image. I hope you can see the changed image on the screen. Yeah. So let's 5 minutes is done. So let's work on this sparrow artwork. I'm going to start from the crown area, the head area. That's where I'm going to start and work on the eye first. I'm going to work on the eye. So observe carefully how I'm moving. I'm not lifting my hand from the paper. I'm continuously drawing. So observe that. So when you get a chance, you can try the same way. You can try working on these reference images the same way. So I complete the eye. Now I'm going to work on the crown area. Now the beak. I'm going to draw the beak. Now the throat. I'm working on the neck area here. Now I'm going to the shoulder area. So here, how accurate you're going to draw the bird might not be necessary. Here, following the rules and having fun is the whole idea. Not here accuracy of the bird and how accurate the proportions are and all that is not that important. But if you can draw it accurately, well and good. but that is not the whole idea. Here, the idea is to continuously draw. That is the whole idea. This is a bit, it's taking some time. I think it's more than 5 minutes. Exactly 5 minutes now. This bird is taking a little bit time since there is some details involved in the bird. So that's the artwork. So I'm going to dip this pen in the ink before I start another artwork since the ink is drying up. So let's sign this artwork also. So this is a house sparrow, male. So within 5 minutes, I tried to complete this artwork. So let's mention the species name as well. House sparrow. House sparrow male. So this complete. So I've taken 6 minutes to draw this work. So then we are going to move to the third work. So let me change the image. So this is the image of a bird called Ashiprenia. So that is the bird that we can see on your screen. So I'm going to attempt drawing this bird in the paper in 5 minutes. Another 5 minutes, I'm going to try and attempt to complete this bird. So let's start with the eye again. Let's start with the eye. I'm going to draw the eye first. Then supercilium. This is called the supercilium, the area that is near the eye. Let me draw that. Let me go and draw the beak. I'm going to draw the throat now. and the chest. This is the throat area that I'm drawing. So if you observe carefully, you can also attempt in another 5 minutes. You will be given these reference images and you will be given 10 minutes. You can also attempt drawing these birds and moths and all that using the same instructions. So I'm drawing the head now. The neck. The neck area is also called the nape in case of birds. Now I'm going to draw the wing feathers. It's a very tiny bird. Many of you would have seen it near your home. It's a very common bird all over India. Now I'm going to draw the remaining feathers of the bird. And the tail. So here I have made an error, like I made a composition error. So I have not drawn the bird in the center, so there is no space for the tail. The tail has cut off. So that is something we need to check when we begin working on the artwork. We need to see how the spacing works, how it's going to turn out, where the tail will go, but it's okay. Everyone makes mistakes. I'm going to draw the feet of the bird. The other feet of the bird. The remaining body. Then we draw the wooden stump on which the bird is perched. So that ends the artwork. So let me sign this work as well. So I've taken close to 6 minutes to make this artwork. Let me sign the artwork and let me mention the species name as well. So this work also is complete. So I will share the study sketches I did before making the complete artwork. So these are few study sketches I did. So I tried out these many artworks before attempting the final artwork today. So making a lot of studies is also very important when you try before attempting the final work. So that completes the demo session. So what we will do is now we will show you the reference images. You will be given 10 minutes each. You can try making these artworks now, like you can try making these artworks. So I will share from the moth, like I will share it full screen. You can see full screen, the moth will appear. So you have 10 minutes where you can now start making the contour drawing. So remember, you need to draw continuously. You should not lift your hand. Don't repeat over the line. Don't go over the line. Don't stop. If you stop where you are. Like you can attempt it again. Attempt making the artwork again. So, and medium, you can use any medium. You can use a fountain pen. You can use a pencil. Medium is not a restriction. The whole idea is to follow the instructions and have fun. So art is actually about having fun. And definitely you need to create something, but the whole idea of art is having fun. I hope you found this exercise interesting. So it's called contour drawing. So I've been making these kind of drawings since my childhood. So I hope you found this exercise interesting and fun as well. So we are, so 3 minutes are up. Have another 7 minutes to go. We'll be given another 7 minutes, and then the reference image will change. So the moth is called mug bean moth. That's what the moth is called. You can note it down. It's a very common moth in Bangalore. So knowing these species, what we are drawing is also equally important. Like knowing how you know the techniques and what kind of mediums in art. Knowing about these species in nature art is also equally important. So at the end of the session, you also have questionnaire time where you could type in the questions in the chat box. Yeah. So the slide will change. It's just 5 minutes now. Another 5 minutes, the slide will change again. You have 5 more minutes. Another reference image will appear. In another 5 minutes, another reference image will appear. You can draw the other reference image. So you have another 2 more minutes, 3 minutes, we have 3 more minutes. So if you stop somewhere midway while making this contour drawing, you stop there and re-attempt it again. You can keep trying, like you can try drawing it again continuously. So it takes many attempts, several attempts before we do the artwork. So we have 2 more minutes and change the next image. You will have another image where you can try and draw that image. So few of the moths, there's an interesting fact, most of the moths are active during the night. Unlike butterflies, butterflies more, all are active during the day. Most of the moths are active during the night. However, there are few colorful moths, like a few of the silk moths. They are very bright and colorful. They are active during the day as well. This is a fun fact. You can Google it. You can check out the moths that are active during the day, but most of the moths are active during the night. So we have another 1 minute where I will change the image and you can attempt the other image. 1 more minute to go. Yeah. So we are done, like 10 minutes up. I'm going to change the slide to another image now. So I just changed it to the male house sparrow. So hope you can see the reference image on the screen, the house sparrow. Yes. So you can attempt drawing this sparrow now. We have another 10 minutes where you can try and attempt the house sparrow. So this is a male. So usually in birds, the males are vibrant. Same with the sparrow as well. It has a black spot under the supercilium, and colors are more dark brown. And compared to the females are pale in color, and they lack the black spots in the throat area. There is a shadow as well, so I didn't attempt the shadow in the contour drawing, but otherwise, in the regular drawing, I would definitely attempt the shadow. The shadow gives more depth and it gives more form to the artwork. You can use any medium, like I mentioned. Like don't think like I don't have a brush pen like what I did. Like so, I won't attempt making the drawing. So you can use a pencil or even a ball pen or any kind of whatever material you have. You can use, and any kind of paper also will do. So no need for a drawing sheet. Like you can use any sheet. The whole idea is to follow the instruction and have fun. That is the whole idea. If you want, you can start with the eye. Start with the eye, like how I drew. Start with the eye, then go draw the crown area, the head area, and the beak, then the throat. So you can do that way. So whichever you feel like which suits you, you can try that way. But don't go over the line. Don't stop. Don't lift your hand above the paper. So continuously draw. So don't worry about the proportions, how the birds look like. So don't worry about those things. Just try to follow the instruction and have fun. So here you need not make any details. Like this particular contour drawing is not about making details or precise drawing. So here the whole idea is to draw continuously. So in the current scenario, concentrating on one particular task is very difficult. So most of us are watching TV, like we are also using our smartphone, and some of us on YouTube also at the same time. So we are concentrating, we are trying to multitask and do too many things at the same time. So this kind of exercise, it helps you to concentrate on one particular task at a given time. So if you think about what is there for dinner today while making the contour drawing, you will miss out on one of the line and you will go over the line. So here it's very important to concentrate on making the drawing rather than thinking on various other distractions. So this exercise also helps you build the concentration. At the same time, it is fun. Like since you have certain instructions to draw as well, it's a fun activity. So we are halfway through this reference image. Like we have another 5 minutes to go for this reference image. Then we move to the next image. So another information I would like to share is if you observe the shadow, it is falling in the opposite direction of the source of light. Here the source of light is the sunlight, so which is falling from the left hand corner. So left hand corner, the sunlight is falling on the bird from left hand corner. So that's the reason the shadow is formed below the bird. So this is very important to know where the light source is, where the shadow is formed. So when you observe closely in nature, you get to observe light, shadow, cast shadow, catch light, reflective light. So many subjects or these are very important in making artworks. So you might be wondering what is a catch light. So if you observe carefully, the bird has a white dot on the eye. That is the catch light. So that is also coming from the left hand top corner. Like that's the reason the bird has a catch light on the left hand corner. So that's where the source of light, the sunlight is falling from that direction. And another fact I wanted to share is most of the birds have 3 digits in the front and 1 digit in the back. Woodpeckers have 2 digits in the front and 2 digits in the back. So most of the birds have 3 digits and 1 digit in the back in their feet. We have last 2 minutes left for this image. So I hope you are enjoying drawing this house sparrow. House sparrow used to be very common. I used to see them daily. I used to feed them. They used to nest in my house during my childhood. Now I hardly get to see them. Another 1 more minute to go. Then we will move on to the other image. So here again in this image as well, it has a beautiful composition. It has a zigzag composition. So the intersecting point is where the male sparrow is positioned. So it's a beautiful composition, light and shadow. Most of the elements to make a good artwork is already there in the photograph. Yeah, I think it's time to change the slide. I'm going to change 10 minutes up. I'm going to change the slide to the Ashipenia. Yeah, so beautiful hibiscus in the background. So Ashipenia is a gray bird, pretty common. Like during the lockdown, every day I get to watch this bird on my hibiscus plant. And these Ashipenia, they are mostly insectivores, meaning they feed on insects mainly. I also have a huge neem tree, and which has a lot of spiders and insects in them. So the Ashipenia visits the hibiscus plants for insects and the tree. It also feeds on the tender neem leaves also sometimes. I've seen most of the birds, flowerpeckers, Ashipenia, sunbirds. Sunbirds also feed on the nectar from the neem flower also. Even in the hibiscus also they feed on that nectar. So here you can see the catch light. So we spoke about the catch light in the sparrow. Here in the Ashipenia, the catch light is on the right hand corner in the eye. So the source of light, that is from the sun is shining from the right hand top corner. So the shadow will be formed opposite to the source of light always. So throughout the image, like if you are painting, it's a very flat image, there is no light source. You can create your own light. So which direction you want the light, that's where the catch light will be. That's where the highlight will happen and the shadow will fall on the opposite direction. So here you can start with the eye like how I started. This is called a supercilium. You can draw that. Then this area is called the crown. You can draw the crown, beak, throat. You can draw the body, tail. So I made a compositional error. Like I didn't place the bird in the center. Like you should also be careful while starting with the eye. You need to position it in the center of the sheet so you get more space for the tail. So don't worry about making errors. Like that is something I always to discuss or I say to artists or students or whoever I interact with. So no one is perfect. Like so, even if you practice 100 times, also you're definitely going to make some or the other mistake. So don't worry about the mistakes. Learn from the mistakes and don't repeat the same mistakes. Like, you can make new mistakes, but don't repeat the same mistake. So we have 6 more minutes. We are halfway through. So we have another 5 minutes to go before we wind up the reference images. So in case you have any questions, you can type in the questions. We have about 5 to 6 minutes for the questions. So you can type in your questions and I'll be happy to answer them. So 4 more minutes to go. We also have this video running live on YouTube as well. You can watch that video will be there on YouTube for later viewing. You can check that video in case you missed the live session. You can check that video on YouTube. You can try working on the reference images, try making the contour drawing later also. So we got almost 3 minutes left. I think 2 more minutes more. We're almost coming to an end of this drawing session. Another 1 more minute to go. Yeah, I think we can. We'll stop the image now and get back live. I think I'll switch the presentation over to Sriram now. And in case you have any questions, you can ask us, and I'll be happy to answer. I hope you enjoyed the one art session. And I've shared a lot of information about birds, light, art in general, and various other things. I hope you enjoyed those small tidbits as well.
Yes, sir. The students are posting a lot of questions in the chat.
Okay.
Okay, and here the question like send it to your mail. So here Akshaya has posted a question like, sir, I will. So just a minute. I think there's a problem on the chat side. Got disconnected. Yeah, he's here.
Yeah, sorry, I got cut off. Yeah.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, you can ask the questions like I'll be able to.
So, sir, I will draw. And student has asked like Akshaya, sir, I will draw a picture and send it to your mail. So, can you please share your mail ID?
Sure, I'll share my email ID. You can.
Yeah. And there is another question like Priya.
Okay.
Yes. So, which is your most difficult drawing?
So every drawing that way, like I don't feel any drawing is simple or difficult. Like, every drawing is actually difficult. So every drawing has its own challenges. Like few drawings have texture, few drawings have light or shadow. Few drawings have. So I've shared my email ID. So you can see my email ID. I shared it. So you can put it on the screen also, like whoever want to. Like
Sure,
you can.
sir.
Yeah, you can share it on the screen so they can note it down and they can send me their artwork. So let me get back to the answer. So no, I don't see any artwork as easy. So that's the first thing, or difficult, because every artwork or every subject has its own challenges, and based on that only I approach the artwork. I don't see any subject as easy or difficult. But definitely, I feel like the texture of water. So nature has lot of birds, animals which are around water area. So when I work on water texture, I find it very difficult. Like it's not that easy. It has lot of reflections, and it has lot of smooth texture, rough texture, lot of leaves, plants there in water. So till date, I worked on few water subjects. I found it very, very difficult to draw the water texture in nature. So I hope that answers your question.
Yes, sir. And one of the student has asked, where can we buy things like the pens which you are using?
So the brush pen is definitely available on Amazon. It's if you type in brush pen, you will get lot of products that you can. So Amazon definitely it's there, but I'm not sure. Like during lockdown, they might not deliver it to you. So most of the art materials
What made
usually
you
find
start?
in the stationery shops itself near you, or like now most of the art materials found online also. You can find it in Amazon. You can Google search it. So even I find most of my art materials, I Google search and try to find the nearest shop or nearest online store that is close to me and try to order it from that shop itself.
Okay, sir. And here is a question like, what made you start drawing?
So what made me so most of the artists, like if you're artist yourself, we are mostly introverts. Like we don't like talking a lot. So we are usually to ourselves. So I'm a single son. Like I don't have any siblings. So most of the time I used to be alone. Like both my parents are they were working that time also. So there was a lot of time after my school, and like even my friends also. We usually like we used to play outdoors and all only in the evening time. So once I come back from school, there was a lot of time where I used to be alone. So that is the time like I used to watch a lot of sparrows and lot of birds or lot of things in nature. So then I thought, like, see, I cannot speak to anyone. Like, whatever I'm seeing, right, I need to show it somehow. Like. So if I say, like, I saw a sparrow, I saw a cat, I saw a dog, so I saw something, like, my parents not going to believe me, like, or even my friends also not going to believe me. So what is the way where I can actually, like, tell them how the sparrow look or how this dog look? So I say, like, this is what I saw, like, so I started drawing, like, but before that itself, like by the age of 3 and all, I've shown you some of my sketches. So basically, talking is less. Like we try to show things through visuals. Like so, that's what that's how I started drawing. But I never thought I'm going to make wildlife art full time or I'm going to make it as a career and all that. So I also do landscapes, portraits, gods, everything, like all genre of art I made. But later, I felt like wildlife art is my calling. Like I like nature, so that's how I stuck to one particular genre.
Okay, sir, that was nice. And here is the next question like, what are blending stems?
So blending stumps, when you use mediums like charcoal or you use mediums like pencil. So blending stumps are basically compressed paper. So they are made of compressed paper that helps you in art. What happens like you move from dark area to a light area. Then between that there are various gradations. So for mediums like pencil and like charcoal, we use the blending stumps. So the transition from the dark area to the mid tone to the light area. So there is a transition area. So if you want a smooth transition, let's say you're going to make a portrait. So our skin is very smooth. So there is very little texture in the skin. So you want a very smooth transition from the dark area to the light area. So you make those markings using the pencil and you blend that area using the blending stone. So it gives a very smooth gradation from dark to light tone. So that is blending stone.
Fine, sir. And here is the next question. Like, what are the five basic skills to become an artist?
So five basic skills. First, I feel like you need to find out like you really like art. So what is there's something I have noticed like most of the kids like they like parents pressurize them to make art. Like, so don't be that way. Like if you really enjoy making art, like art is not about perfection. Like I told this during the presentation also. So it's not about making a perfect masterpiece. Like it is about enjoying the process, learning the process, learning things. So if you feel like you really enjoy making art, like that is the first thing you need to observe. Like so, that is the first thing. So the skill set. So the question is basically skill set. So let's list out the five skill sets. So first and foremost, first skill that is required to be a good artist is observation skills. So you need to observe every object. Like if you're going to make a lot of people art or portraits, or you're going to make human portraits or human anatomy drawings. So you observe how the person moves, what is his eye looks like, what his nose looks like, what his hair looks like. So observation is the first and foremost skill that is required for the artist. So that is the first skill. The second skill that is required is you need to learn the mediums. Like that is also a skill. Like you need, if you are really into art, you are very serious about it. I would suggest you go into a art school and learn from there. Now even lot of online courses also there from many institutes all over the world. But learn from a good artist or good institution. Like. So that will give you good foundation. So this is the second skill. So you need to have observation skill. You need to learn art and its foundation correctly. And third skill is experimenting. So everybody learn the medium. Like everybody, are having good skill set. But very few artists experiment. Like. So if you see, I started with pencil, then I moved to watercolor. I did pen. I did acrylics. I did oils also. I'm working on oils also. So you need to experiment continuously throughout your life. Like, learning never stops. Like that is the third skill I will say. Like you need to have. It. So the thirst for knowledge. Like, you need to keep experimenting. This is the third skill you need to have. And the fourth skill is something like see everybody again will experiment also. Lot of artists because all the art teachers and institute everywhere they say like you experiment, you try to find out what technique or what kind of genre you like or what is your as soon as like someone sees your artwork, they need to say like this is your artwork. Like so have a style also they will say. So everybody says so experimenting is also something everybody is going to tell you and you're going to follow it. But the fourth thing is the skill of imagination. Like. So this is something which is personal to you. Like. So your imagination, no one else can have. Like. So have that skill set. Try to imagine things. Like try to combine all these factors. Like. So imagination is something very personal to you. Like have that skill set. And the fifth one I will say is like. Never stop learning. Like so learning never stops. Like you might think like you know all the mediums, like you experimented with all the kind of genre, you like certain genre, you are going to do it for many years, but learning never stops. Like have thirst, And that is another skill set now. Like once you become a well-known artist and you are established, your works are selling in racks and all that. Like then you stop learning. Like you think like I know everything. So the fifth one is stay humble. Like that is a very human skill. Like stay humble and have the thirst for knowledge. Like, we can always learn. I learn from my kids also. Like, so my son also works on watercolors. So every day he does different, color mixing, different textures. So he keep experimenting, he keep working. So I see like how did you mix this color? Like how you got this texture? So I learn from him also. Like. So that skill set is a soft skill. Like you need to definitely have that thirst and learning soft skill. Or be open for learning.
Right, sir. And here is a next question.
Yeah.
Like, can you talk about the awards you have got and how do you feel when you get it?
Yeah, this is a very interesting question. See, wildlife art in India, there are no awards like. So outside India, definitely lot of contests are there, like a lot of competitions are there and all that. So main reason why I started Artists for Wildlife and Nature is for that reason only. So what we do, we recognize the artists who do well in this particular wildlife field. Like. So since I work only on wildlife art, I in India there are no competitions like where I can submit my artworks for awards and all that. So and I don't submit my artworks in generic art competitions like because generic art competition meaning where all the genre of like artworks are displayed like portraits, still lifes, landscape, everything is displayed in one competition but very few art competitions where you can actually, or I can say like no art competition in India where wildlife is the only genre. Like. So that is the reason why I started AWN. So what I did was rather than me winning awards, so I have actually created awards which we can give to the artists who do wildlife genre. Like. So I hope that answered your question. So Sriram, you are muted, Sriram.
Oh, sorry. So
Okay.
sorry. And
Yeah, no
there is a next
problem.
question too.
Yeah.
And what are the types of pencil art? What are the different types of pencil art we have?
So pencil art, like there are no different types we can say. Like different types of pencil definitely there. Like pencil is definitely graphite pencil is there, charcoal pencil is there. But different kinds of pencil is there, like HB, um, HB, like HB, H variety of pencils are there, and B variety of pencils are there. So I'm not sure if I'm getting the question correctly, but pencil art there are no variety of art. So every art that you make using a graphite pencil is comes under the graphite work only category. So I don't see there is any variety of art in that, but there are definitely various kinds of pencils that you get in the market. So H is nothing but harder, like more clay is there in that pencil. The H grade pencil is more hard, and the B grade pencil there is more graphite, which is more softer. So the variety of pencils is unlimited. Like you get E pencil also, watercolor pencils also. Like there are a lot of varieties in pencil. Like, but art wise, I don't see there is any variety. Maybe genre is different, like portraits, landscape, like animal portraits, wildlife, birds. So that kind of genre might be different. But pencil, I see like only in the pencil there is variety of pencil available in the market. Like.
Okay, sir. And what type of pictures can beginners draw?
So beginners, like I said, like you start with stick drawings. Like that's what we always start with. Like any kind of when we start, we try to draw the stick figures. Basically, stick figures is something like a skeleton. Like it can be a bird, it can be a human, it can be a mammal, or it can be still life also. anything like. So we see what is the inner structure of that particular subject. So like I said, observation is very important for an artist. Like you need to start observing what kind of geometrical shape it is. So try to start with simple subjects. Can be your pencil, eraser. Also start with that kind of simple subjects. So observe live subjects, like try to draw live subjects. Like it can be a flower. So you might be wondering like how I'm going to draw a bird live. Like it's not going to stay in one position. I cannot draw a bird live. So start out with simple subjects. Like it can be a eraser, pen, sharpener, pencil, your geometry box, your books, your TV, like different utensils you have at home. So start with simple subjects and try to identify the geometrical shapes. Try to see where the light is coming from, where the shadow is falling. Like try and start with these kind of subjects. Then slowly, you can move to complex subjects. Once you have the skill or drawing skills, like you mastered these kind of simple subjects, you can like go and try and draw more complex subjects.
That's nice, sir. And one last question.
Yeah.
Which is your most favorite aspect of nature to draw? Whether it's birds, animal, or
Yeah, definitely birds. Like I, since I'm bird into bird watching, so I like observing birds and their habitat and their behavior. So definitely birds is my favorite. So I photographed till date more than 360 plus species of birds all over India. Birds definitely I would say. Like, yeah.
thank you, sir. As we can't step out of our houses, sketching can help us improve holistic health. Right?
Right.
And that was a wonderful session, sir. On behalf
Thank
of the schools and Pushpalata Vidya Mandir, thank you so much, sir, for sharing your experience and making our children learn sketching in very short span of time. Thank you so much,
Thanks a
sir.
lot. And thank you for the opportunity. I would like to thank Pushpalata School for this opportunity. And I hope it was useful. And at the same time, it was fun, not like rigorous art session. So I tried to simplify it in a very easy way and in short time, like a fun activity that I've been doing since childhood. Like. So I enjoyed the contour drawing. So I hope it was the same with you. Thank you for the opportunity, and it was nice interacting with you too.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
And to the end, you are watching Pushpalata Learn at Live. And if you like this video, give a thumbs up and subscribe to Pushpalata Learn at Live. And I would also like to thank the technical team who is here, right? And with this signing off, Sriram, take care, bye bye. Stay home, stay healthy.